Hey guys, my name is Mr. Marcus White, and I am one of the hosts for the comment section. Happy New Year! We are in 2025. Can you believe that we are in 2025? I mean, granted, this is the second week of January. We're halfway done with the month, but this is our first episode back in the new year. You and I since we all talked last time. Last time we were in still 2024, and we're in the new year. But can you believe that we are 2 weeks in the new year? And it has been a crazy couple of days in the new year, don't you say? I mean, half of the world is either on fire or we're frozen. Honestly. It's just unbelievable what's happening. It feels like the end of the world, right? I'm sure everyone knows that, California, at Los Angeles or the Malibu area, people have lost their homes due to the wildfires. And many, many, many celebrities have lost their homes, but the people who are not famous are the ones who I really feel bad about. Not saying that I don't feel bad for the celebrities, but it sucks that people are losing their homes that's not getting mentioned, and only celebrities are getting awareness, and it's just, I always feel bad for the people who are never, spoken about. But, and this is another thing that drives me crazy too, when I've been reading on Twitter about these celebrities losing their houses. Like, people are like, who cares? They can get another house, yada, yada, yada. First of all, pump your brakes, hold your horses, because those people may have stuff in those homes that can't be replaced, like photographs, video cameras, notes or notebooks or ashes. You never know what's in a home that could have got lost in the fire. So please have sympathy for everybody, even if they're even if they're a billionaire. Have some sympathy for those people who lost their homes in California. It's really sad, and I'm not really quite sure if the fire is still going on, like if the fire is still being wild. I'm not quite sure. Not trying to make a joke about it. I'm just laughing because I haven't heard anything about any other homes being damaged or tarnished. Like it kind of seemed like it all went away. Like now, it seems like a lot of these celebrities are posting their homes that were lost in the fire, and it seems like the fire is now gone. So I'm not really sure if the fire is still happening today. But it's just a sad way to start out 2025, And I hope that, everyone who has lost their home, I hope that they will have a place to stay for the next year or so. I know that President Biden, should we say former president? I mean, this is January 17th, Friday, and he is going to be out of office come Monday. So I don't know if we should say, well, as of today, he's still the president. President Biden had signed a grant issuing the people a one-time payment of $700, and which is kind of laughable. Really? Really, Biden? $700? That's all? That's all? All right. I don't want to give him too much slack because I'm really angry about the person taking over. So, but you know what? This is the comment section. I do have to call like what it is. Biden, you should be ashamed of yourself that you even signed a one-time payment to that type of deal. $770 is all you're giving those poor families? What is that going to get them? Like is that even enough for a hotel for the week? I mean, that really pissed me off. It really did piss me off. But who knows what, I don't want to say President Trump, but who knows what Donald Trump will issue once he gets into office. Let's hope that maybe he will send over more money to those people. 700, a one-time payment of $700, that ain't nothing. I could spend that in one day. All right. That ain't nothing to be given out to people who lost their homes. But yeah, please have sympathy for all the people who are not famous. But just have sympathy for everyone in general. Like I said, even if they're a billionaire, these people, could have lost some good possessions in that home. So as I said, pictures, I have pictures of my great grandmother who passed, over 10 years ago. And if this apartment will burn down and those pictures will be gone forever, so it's stuff like that I think about, when people talk about losing their homes. Um, but yeah, 2025, here we are. This has been quite a couple. It's giving me 2020 vibes. Like I'm like, please don't let it be like 2025. I mean, 2020 vibes. Please don't let it be like 2020. Please don't. I know that's what this year is starting off to be. The New Year's, that it was a terrorist attack on New Year's in New Orleans. About 15 or 16 people died. This man drove his truck through New Orleans, running over 40 people, and 16 people had passed away from that. On New Year's Day, could you imagine going out celebrating with your friends, and on New Year's, starting just hours within the New Year, and you get murdered? People are sick. This world is sick. It really is sick. That's why I never do anything for New Year's. I never really have celebrated outside, meaning at a club or an outside event. Usually this year I stayed home. And then for the past couple years, my best friend had like a New Year's party at her house. It's like maybe like 5 people, which is perfect because not too many people. Was enough to still have conversations and do games and whatnot. But this year I decided to stay home, for all the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And so my heart went out to all the people who passed away in that terrorist attack in New Orleans. They killed the terrorist. It was a standoff with the cops. If you guys don't know, I know that I'm not CNN, but I like to tell people what's happening in the world. Just in case you may not know, but they did end up killing the terrorist. And then once they killed the terrorist, they found explosives in his truck. So who knows what else he would have done, if he wasn't stopped. And then also, a lot of planes have been crashing. It was like 5 plane crashes the week of Christmas or the week after Christmas. And so it's just weird. I'm like, why are we starting the year like this? So that's why I'm like, it's giving me 2020 vibes. I'm hoping that maybe all this bullshit just stays in January, and then we could we could have a nice year, for the following months. I mean, President Trump, I just can't believe I just said that, President Trump. Well, he is going to be in office come Monday, and who knows? It's going to be a hell of a 4 years. It's going to be a long 4 years. So who knows what that that Nazi, who knows what kind of year he's going to give us on his first year back in the White House. Poor Kamala. I feel so bad for Kamala. I just feel bad. America, you just did her dirty. You did me dirty. You hurt my feelings. I just can't believe that we actually are having a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon. He got sentenced, by the way. That happened too while the comment section was on break. He was sentenced. And they sentenced him with no time in jail or no probation period. I didn't know that was even possible. How could you sentence somebody with no consequence? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. But this is America with 3 Ks. This is America. Because, just let it be a black person, and they would have been facing jail time or probation. Something. They would have had some type of consequence. No. Not that convicted felon. Not that Nazi. No. I will always refer to him as Nazi. I know that, a Nazi is a strong term, but anyone who is trying to take away women's rights, gay rights, who wants to get immigrants out of the country, I'm against that. I don't like that. This is a land of the free. People come here because of the opportunities that they might not have over there. And you don't know what they're escaping from. And I like to give people passes. And to me, immigrants aren't the problem, in my opinion. They aren't the terrorist. Even though that terrorist, he wasn't really, he was from the Middle Eastern countries. But the real terrorists, to me, are the people shooting schools, movie theaters, schools. Did I say schools? Schools, movie theaters. They're going to malls, grocery stores. Those are the real terrorists. And what color are they? They're Americans. Those are the real terrorists. It's food for thought, people. Well, we have a great show for you. I'm going to try to wrap this up in 30 minutes. the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They had their epic finale a couple of days ago. Beyonce, she was scheduled to reveal this big announcement, and then she took it back. And Karen Huger skipped out on the Potomac reunion and caused like a little a splash. And Michelle Obama says she's not going to Donald Trump inauguration. So let's get this podcast started. Dun 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 dun. Woo! All right. I know you all watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They had their season 5 finale that aired on Wednesday. And you know what? It was a good episode. It just didn't really, I thought that maybe I was expecting the finale to be a grand finale like the season 4 finale. Like, yeah, they argued, they bonded, they cried, they fought, they left the table, they threw the table. But I just thought, I don't know, the way that it was being promoted, that it was going to be just as shocking as the season 4 finale. You know, that's when Monica was revealed that she was actually a blogger like myself, and she was tormenting the women years prior to coming on the show. So that was a great reveal for that finale. I just thought that would be equal, but it was a lot of drama. The takeaway from that finale was Mary Cosby and Angie K having a sort of a disagreement. Now, Mary, we all know Mary, she's a little cuckoo. I honestly think she's on a spectrum. I think she could possibly be autistic. Is that mean to say? But I think that we all agree. I'm just bold to say it. I think she's on the spectrum. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But we shouldn't be aware of that because sometimes she can't comprehend things the way that, the rest of the world can comprehend things. We have to take baby steps when we deal with that Mary. So I say that to say because in the finale, and Mary called out the friend of Brittany, who's a fucking nut job. I also think she's on a spectrum as well. And so Brittany had kind of told Mary that I think that you were recording the group, and Mary was offended. How dare you? You shut your mouth. And that pissed Brittany off, and she went running and crying from the table. And Angie K went to go follow her and comfort Brittany. Is like, don't cry. It's not that serious, yada, yada, yada. Well, Mary was pissed about that. Mary's like, you're my friend. What are you chasing her for? What are you chasing? If you're my friend, you stand by me. And Mary was really upset with Angie, and she was being so cold to her. She was cutting her out. Angie's like, Mary, do you want pizza? And Mary just like, not even talking to her. And so Mary revealed, you broke my trust when you went to go Now, Mary Cosby, this is where I'm talking about she's on the spectrum. Because, one, it's not that serious. I mean, Brittany only accused you of recording her. It's not like Brittany has said that, you're a whore and you're cheating on your husband. It was just a simple recording accusation, which is not that serious or deep. But, Mary, you have to remember, you are still friends with people that Angie's not friends with. Angie's not friends with Meredith. To me, it just was not fair for Mary to get angry at Angie the way that she got angry with her. But like I said, Mary is maybe she's not on the spectrum. Maybe she doesn't have autism. Maybe that's just maybe Mary is just defensive because she did say she has abandonment issues. And she feels like when people betray her, she takes great offense to it. And I get that too. Look. Maybe I'm on the spectrum because I'm the same fucking way. I'm not going to get angry if someone goes comfort someone who I may not like, especially if they just accuse me of recording them. But I do have abandonment issues. I celebrate the holidays alone because I'm not close to my family. I'm not close to my mother. I always say I don't have any parents. My father is passed, but I wasn't close to him when he was alive either. So I get it, when you feel like you're all by yourself in this world and you don't really know who to trust and who not to trust, you can be on the fence with people and you could have your walls up with people. I get it, but then at the same time, Mary, I just feel like as much as Angie was taking up for you this entire season, she had your back. There was no reason to really lash out on her like that. And if you do, really want to lash out at her, do it off camera. Because if I had a really good friendship with somebody, I would never bring our drama onto camera. I would talk to them outside of camera, especially when it's to that caliber. It wasn't that serious. The show will blow it up, and the show will blow it up, and then the show will play it on TV, and that it will always be on TV to re-air. And let's just say Angie can't really move on and forgive or is angry about the situation. I don't know. I just want to do stuff like I don't. If I was married, I wouldn't have done it on TV. I would have talked to her about it off camera. Do you agree with me? Like, do you think Mary took it too far? Or I'm just one on one, and I'm just too harsh on about the situation? Um, but you know what? You know what I'm not harsh about? When Angie, first of all, let me backtrack before I even bring up what Angie said. So at this finale, this is the Last Supper, and I don't know why this particular series, out of all the Real Housewives, they've been having the finale the last day of the vacation. Like, usually when these housewives go on these trips, they go on the trip, they come back from the trip, and then they have the finale. See, I'm not sure about the season 3 finale because I didn't ever watch season 3. I watched season 1, season 2, skipped season 3 because Jen and Mary wasn't on it, so there's no point in me being on it. And then I came back for season 4, so I don't know how the season 3 finale ended, but for season 4, they ended on the finale was on the last day of the trip. So for this episode, the girls got together, and I forgot how it played out, but oh, I know what it was. The Whitney girl, who I can't fucking stand, her and that pointing, that was so corny. Lisa was like, don't point your finger. Then she pointed to, Whitney's immature. I don't see what you guys see in Whitney. She's so immature to me. And something about her, she just is childish. Like, she's somebody who can just go to a friend of role. Meredith can go to a friend role. Actually, Meredith can just get off the show. Meredith has no substance or value to the show. And neither does Whitney. Like, she reminds me so much of Ashley Darby. You're just there just to fight with them. Like, you have nothing going on with you. And I honestly think that she only was fighting with Lisa this entire season because she had nothing else to bring to the show. That's why in this finale, Meredith called her out, said, you've been fighting with Lisa, accusing Lisa of doing something, and that was a lie this entire season. I know I'm not making sense to people who don't watch, but Whitney, she has no substance. But anyways, because this is the Last Supper, this is the finale dinner, Heather, Mrs. Receipts, screenshots, da 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 da. She thinks she's the HBSC of this franchise. Heather, you're not. You're a follower. None of you are the star of the franchise. I hate to break it to you. Jen Shah was the star of the show. None of you are no Nenes. None of you are no Bethany's. None of you are no Lisa Vanderpump. None of you is no Giselle or Karen. All of you collectively are the show. There's not a star of the show, but Heather thinks she is because Bravo is trying to make her, give her that role, and it's not happening. Anyways, Heather thought that it would be good for everyone to read the nastiest text message. It's not funny. Read the nastiest text message that they have said about somebody at the table. And obviously it did not go well. I don't know why Miss Big Honcho thought that would be a good idea. That's why she's not the star of the show, because you're just dumb. Like, that was so stupid of you to, like, you thought that was going to be peace. She's like, Monica had a burn book, and so instead of just, let's reveal what we said. Like, girl, this isn't Mean Girls. You can't say something mean about somebody and think that we're all gonna hug each other. That's not how, and it didn't go down like that. It did not go did not go the way that Heather thought it was gonna go. And Angie K, darling, had said the meanest, nastiest, deadliest read to Bronwyn the newbie. I have the clip. Take a look.
Bronwyn seems nice. I like her business plan, marrying a guy who has one foot in the grave.
Oh, she's already crying.
And one on a banana peel. But I like mine better. I'd rather be self-made. She's nice, but she doesn't listen because her ears are stitched down to her face so tight she can't hear anything. She wears a hot dog outfit to remind us she sucked her way to the top.
That was the meanest thing I've ever heard someone say about somebody. What? The hot dog comment really got me. She wears a hot dog costume because she sucked her way to the top. There's no lies detected. Lies detected. She talked about her ears being stitched to her face. She talked about Bronwyn's husband having one foot in the coffin and the next on the banana peel. Oh, Angie. Oh, Angie, that was mean. And that's not funny, Angie. It's not funny. But did she lie? No. That's why I think it's funny. Even though I said it's not funny. I'm such a, what's the word? I'm contradicting myself. But that's why it's funny because it's true. Bronwyn, you know good and well you're not attracted to your husband. You know, if you guys would been following me on my blog page since the season premiere, since season 5 has came on, I never liked Bronwyn. I never got connected with her. I always thought that she was two-faced and she was just on the show just to stir the pot. And I mean, she did it. Fans like her. I don't necessarily like her. But before she revealed that she was having issues with her husband, you all know that I said, I guarantee you by the end of this season, she's going to reveal that her and Todd are not in a good place. Because I can see the signs. Todd seems controlling. Todd seems like the type that it's his way or the highway because it's his money. You know? He is the breadwinner. I forgot what he does. He's the CEO of maybe, what's the type of phones? The Blackberries? I could be lying. Allegedly. Let me just put allegedly. I mean, obviously, they're not going to sue me if I say what job he has, if it was wrong. But whatever he does is really big, and I think he's really the richest person on that franchise. Richest husband, and probably the richest cast member on that franchise. But yeah, I don't really think that Bronwyn was ever with him because of his looks, because he's not that cute. Come on now. He looks like he could be her grandfather. And she only got with him because of the money. Smart woman. I think that many people would have probably taken that same opportunity. I would. Anybody who's maybe interested in me, who's older, who just wants someone to sleep with in bed. And now, I don't know if I can sleep with you in bed, though. I might be doing too much. I can sleep with you under the same roof, but I don't know if I can sleep in the same bed with you, especially if you look like Todd. Could you sleep with him in the same bed? Could you, give him a blowjob? Could you kiss him? Could you jerk him off? Am I being too graphic? I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, can you guys? I know I can't. Just saying, right? Can you? I don't know if I could do that with a man that looks like Todd. Like I would if for an older man who looks good, who's an older man. Let me think, because I'm assuming Todd is like in his 70s, late 70s. So I would say he's like 73, 74. So who looks good? Who is 70? No one's coming to my mind right now. Denzel Washington. He's a good looking man. Okay, if someone looks like Denzel. I'm blanking right now, but I don't know if I could. But Bronwyn, good for you. I just don't see. But I guarantee you, next season, if she comes back next season, which she probably will, I guarantee you by the end of next season, her and Todd will be filing for divorce. Todd doesn't want her on the show. Todd doesn't like the drama, which is a smart man. He's a businessman. I'm a very successful businessman. I'm the CEO of whatever company it is, and my wife is up here in hot dogs costumes fighting with women. That's a bad look. That's why a lot of these one percenters, wives, are not really on the Real Housewives. A lot of these people who actually live in our cities, the one percenters, the ones that we want to see, don't want to come on the show because either they're a businesswoman or their husband is a businesswoman, and their business is not going to allow that foolishness to happen. You know, they're not going to want that business is not going to want to see their employee's wife acting a fool on TV, representing us, you know? So I can see Todd putting his foot down by the end of next season saying, get off the show or we're going to have to file for divorce. And Bronwyn, she's there for the fame. It's obvious. She is there for the fame. And she's going to choose the fame over her husband. Promise, mark my words. And she doesn't have a prenup. Man, she is divorcing that man. And Andrew is right. One foot in the coffin, one foot on the banana peel. That was mean, though. That was mean, but so true. Get her, Angie. Get her again. I can't stand Brown. Cannot stand her. But it was an interesting reunion. It kept an interesting finale. It kept my attention the entire hour. And the reunion is next Wednesday, which I'm looking forward to. I am kind of sad that this show is now over. I actually did enjoy the season a lot. It's actually a really, really good show. And a lot of people are sleeping on this show. I don't really think that got many viewers because I post how many viewers watch each episode on my Instagram blog page. And I want to say they averaged around like 400, 500,000, which seems like it could be a lot, but compared to Potomac and Beverly Hills, they're both up near 1 million followers. So I don't know if people are just not interested in Salt Lake City, or because I thought that maybe people weren't watching cable no more, but when Beverly Hills and Potomac came on, I'm like, well, clearly people are watching cable. Maybe they're not watching cable on Wednesday nights when the show airs. I don't know. But I do think that this franchise, this group of women, are very entertaining, and they remind me a lot of the original RHONY cast. Like, they give me Ramona, Luann, Sonia, Dorinda, Bethany vibes. Like, it's this chaotic energy that, we love to see on TV. So, and speaking about Salt Lake City, that Jen Shah, well, her prison sentencing got reduced to next November 2026. Now, she was originally supposed to serve 6.5 years in jail. So she went into jail. Can you believe it's going to be 2 years? She went into prison February of 2023. With a release date in 2029. Since going to prison 2 years ago, her time has been reduced numerous of times. I don't know why. There's no reason why, but maybe good behavior, maybe doing extra work around the prison will get her time. I don't know. I'm just assuming that's what's happening. But now her sentencing is now set to November 2026. Did I say that right? November 2026. So that's next November 3rd to be exact. So a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. I think it's really unfair that she gets to only serve 3 years in jail, because if I was a victim and she scammed, you all know she scammed millions of people for over a decade, collecting millions of dollars. And she had several of her little scamming companies throughout the country. So it's kind of unfair that this woman, who was a head honcho of her scamming business, will only serve 3 years out of the 6.5 that she's supposed to. She is still sentenced with her 10 years probation, but if I was the victims and I saw that she's getting released 3 years early, it would piss me the fuck off. Now, do I think that when she gets released next year, she will return to Bravo? I don't see Jen Shah being employed by Bravo ever again. Jen Shah scammed people for a living. She earned her millions of dollars by scamming people. This is different than when Teresa Giudice did it when she went to jail. Teresa was doing bankruptcy fraud. Yes, it's still bad, but she wasn't taking money from the poor. Jen was calling people who were in debt. Okay, so student loan debt, mortgage debt, car loan debt. She was calling credit card debt. She was calling people who were in debt and lying to them, saying, well, I'm a bill collector. If you pay me, I can get rid of your debt. And they're paying Jen, but they weren't paying off those people's debts. You know what I'm saying? So not only were you taking money from them, but now they're even in more debt because they're giving you their last coins, and now they're even in more debt. So it's worse than what Teresa Giudice went to jail for. Yes, Teresa did something wrong, but Teresa wasn't taking money from the poor. All right? Jen was. I think that if Bravo rehires Jen, obviously fans like myself, I would like to see Jen back on the show. Obviously, there would be more backlash than applause that she's returning. Am I making sense? It would be really, it's a really thin line that Bravo would be walking on if they even entertained rehiring Jen. But I'm sure Jen's husband and her sons are excited that Mother will be home by next Thanksgiving. Not this Thanksgiving, but next year's in 2026. So I guess good for you, right? Yeah. I guess we're going to keep talking about Housewives. I'm just going to get the Housewives out of the way. Karen Huger. Well, the Potomac Housewives, they filmed their season 9 reunion last week, and fans were really shocked that Karen was not present at the reunion. After the announcement, well, because the seating chart was revealed, and that's when fans, saw that Karen was not placed anywhere. Her lawyer spoke out saying that Karen's lawyer spoke out saying that Karen was in rehab when they were filming their reunion. Obviously, this is my opinion. She went to rehab because her sentencing date for her DUI, she was found guilty. I don't know if we said that on the podcast or if that happened while we were on break from the podcast. But Karen was found guilty, for driving with a DUI, back in August. I'm sorry, April. April, I think, that when she did her drove into a tree. And so she's facing 2 years in prison. Is prison and jail the same thing? Prison. She's facing 2 years in prison. Her sentencing is on January 29th. And so I think that Karen's lawyer advised Karen to go to rehab to make it seem like she's trying to clean up her act, because they released those the arrest footage, the body cam footage of Karen, how she behaved. If you didn't see how she behaved, go on my Instagram blog page and just scroll down on my feeds until you see it. She was a hot mess. She was clearly drunk. She couldn't stand. She couldn't hold a conversation. She was trying to have her husband speak to the cops because she knew if she had a conversation with the cops, they will automatically know that she's been drinking. And then once she was arrested, her wig is all the way in the back of her head, and she's talking about, I'm the grand dame, you don't know me. And then she was calling the officer poor white officer. It was a mess. It was really, really embarrassing for Karen. And the fact that they even took this to trial, like Karen was pleading innocent. These housewives are so stupid. She was pleading innocent. And when they went to court, honey, those cops showed that footage of how Karen was. The judge probably was like, bitch, what? You think you was innocent? No, ma'am, no. So Karen went to rehab so she can just clean up her image. Do I think that she has a drinking problem? No. I know that all these Potomac women have been saying it for seasons and seasons. Well, if they all have drinking problems, if you ask me. But it's really easy to get behind the wheel after drinking, thinking that you're sober. Not saying that I'm not supporting, but I'm making excuses for her. Because I am actually, I celebrated my year sobriety in October. I'm over a year sober. I just looked at my app. I'm 1 year and 2 months and 29 days sober. But I do think it's really easy to get a DUI nowadays because the thing is so low now. One Corona can get you a DUI. So I don't really think that she has a drinking problem, but I think she went to rehab so she can make it seem like she's trying to clean up her act, so she is not sentenced to 2 years in prison. I don't think she will be going away for 2 years, but I do think that she will possibly be sentenced to a year probation, doing some community service, picking up garbage on the side of the highway. I think I can see her getting sentenced to do that, but I can't really see her getting sentenced to prison time. And I know this is her second DUI, but the first one was over 30 years ago. So we have to give some people some leeway with that. It's not like she just got a DUI 3 years ago. 30 years is a long time. And I don't think that they should really take that into accountability, or they shouldn't take that into thought when sentencing her. Can I say that right? Sentencing. I can't talk. But I don't think they should take that into consideration when they do give her sentence. I think that they should just really look at how she's been behaving for the past 10 years and not go back to 30 years ago. Do you all agree with me? Or do you think that they should take that into I cannot think today. They should think about what happened 30 years ago. I don't know. My last Housewives topic. Now, you all know I love Toronto. You all know I'm always in Toronto. I was just in Toronto about a month ago. Bravo. Their next international installment is the Real Housewives of Toronto. I was the first blogger to break this on, the Instagram page. I got my sources. I got my people who tell me different stuff. And I heard about this months ago. I just didn't believe it. But I guess Bravo, they shot, I guess, a pilot episode a couple months ago. And or I shouldn't say Bravo. A production team shot a pilot episode a couple of months ago, shipped it to Bravo. Bravo loved it, and now they ordered a season 1. And so when I put it out there, I don't know if I'm really vocal about what I put on my page, but when I put stuff on my page, a lot of people that I'm talking about, they actually DM me. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not so nice. And so I knew that once I put this rumor out on my page, the people that I said would be on this series would reach out to me. Somebody reach out to me and let me know if it's true or not. It's true. I had 3 people reach out to me. 3 people. One, I don't want to say. I'm not going to say who reached out to me. 2 were cast members. 1 was an executive producer. He sent me a DM. Yep. And I promised him, he follows me and he watches my story. And if he was smart, he'll be listening to my podcast to see if I'm talking. But I did promise him I will not say what he told me. He sent me a huge paragraph. Details. And he's legit. I went on his page and he's legit. He's a legit producer. So the Real Housewives of Toronto is happening. Okay. So here is the cast that, the cast is still alleged, even though 2 people confirmed, because it's the pilot, this is the first season, they can say that they are full-time, but you never know nowadays. Someone could be full-time, come down to part-time. So I'm going to say the alleged cast for now. Keisha Shantae. Now, Keisha Shantae is a singer. I don't know her as a singer, but I knew her when she was a host of 106 & Park. She was on that 106 & Park show for maybe the last 2 years or last year. She did it with Bow Wow. Keisha Shantae is rumored to be on season 1. She's confirmed. Oh, not confirmed. I'm sorry. Oh, I have to edit that out. Okay. She's on the show. She's definitely she's full-time. I can say that. I hope. Don't be mad at me if I said something I'm not supposed to be saying. Producer friend. I forgot your name, but don't be mad at me. Natalie G. Don't know Natalie, but she's a candidate. Roxy Early. Now, Roxy was on the first installment of Real Housewives of Toronto. Now, Canada had their own version, the Real Housewives of Toronto. It was on Slice TV. Slice TV is only a Canadian network. Now, us here in America, we could not get that channel. So Roxy was on that version. That version only lasted 1 season. After 1 season, it was canceled. So they brought Roxy back. I have some tea on Roxy, but I'm not allowed to say. Ooh, did something just come up my nose? Ooh, this is so ghetto. The next person is Shasha Exter. Don't know her. I think she's a fashion designer, but this is what I find interesting about Sasha. You ready, baby? So the next person, her name is Jessica Mulroney. Now, Sasha and Jessica had a little bump a couple years ago. Sasha, I guess, was friends with Jessica. And when the whole Black Lives Matter situation became a thing in 2020, Sasha was really vocal about it because Sasha is obviously a black woman. And she called out Jessica for not being supportive of Black Lives Matter. And Jessica, I guess there was some proof to what Sasha was indicating. Jessica got fired from the Today Show here in America. Jessica was flying from Toronto to the Today Show, and she had a little gig on the Today Show in New York City, and they fired her. She lost her endorsements. She lost another show on another network. She had some little home design show. This is why I think that this Real House of Toronto is going to be good. It's going to be good. And the fact that these 2 women are fine with filming with each other. Now, if you were Jessica and my friend said I wasn't supportive of Black Lives Matter and I was fired from all my businesses and lost endorsements, would you want to come on a show with someone who did that to you? Jessica, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Because that's going to ruin your career even more. Because this is not that information. I guess it was big, but a lot of people, I didn't know about it till I just, did my research about it a couple weeks ago. When you come on the show, Shasha's going to bring that up. And then, since you were fired from many jobs and lost endorsements, there was some truth to what Sasha was indicating. That's going to be resurfaced, and you're going to lose everything that you got back again. Jessica, I mean, not trying to protect you, but if you have a good lawyer or a good team, they would tell you not to do this, not to do it. You would be stupid to do this show. You really would be stupid to do this show. And I'm really surprised that Bravo would hire someone who was fired from numerous jobs in 2021. It wasn't that long ago. Who was fired for racist behavior. Bravo, why are we doing that? Well, that was Jenny from Salt Lake City. Why are we doing this again? What are you doing, Bravo? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Jessica is just the rumored woman. Maybe she's not coming on the show. But those five people, Keisha, Natalie, Roxy, Sasha, and Jessica, are the season 1 cast of the Toronto Housewives. I can say two of them. I know two of them is definitely coming on. They definitely will be filming. The other three, not quite sure. And can't say, but I am looking forward to it, and I can't wait to actually see the finished product. So yeah, stay tuned, everyone. I don't know when it's gonna air, but I'm assuming that it probably is gonna film this year, and it's probably gonna air sometime next year. So can't wait. All right, what's next? Queen Bee. Did you all watch her performance at the her halftime show for Christmas when Houston was playing? Was it Ravens? Yeah, Houston was playing Ravens. It was so good. Now, I love Cowboy Carter. Renaissance is better, okay? But I definitely did like Cowboy Carter. I think I talked about this on the podcast either this season or last season. I think that was last season. JT and I talked about how we really, really did like Cowboy Carter. And so she performed about 5 or 6 songs from that album at this halftime performance. And I'm so happy because I was like, please, Beyonce, I think I said this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago with JT. I was like, please perform songs from this Cowboy Carter. I don't want to see songs that you already performed. You know, I want to see something that you haven't performed. And she did her thing. She did a great job. She brought Baby Blue out there. She had Post Malone. She brought other artists that she collaborated with on Cowboy Carter. So, and at the very end of that performance, she had a 15-second teaser saying that something was going to be revealed on January 14th, 2025. And fans like myself was waiting for weeks of what this announcement could be. What could it be? I was predicting, I heard rumors that it's a Spanish album, that the third act, because, you know, Act 1 was Renaissance, Act 2 was Cowboy Carter, Act 3, I heard, would probably been a Spanish album. I know that people are saying that the third one is going to be a rock and roll album, but then after this announcement, they said it could possibly be a Spanish album. The other announcement was, or the other rumor was that her announcement was possibly going to be announcing her world tour for Cowboy Carter, which I can believe. I think it was going to be that. There was a third rumor saying that she was announcing that she was going to perform at some rodeo that's happening in March down in Houston. And then the fourth rumor was, you know, she's releasing the visuals, which I never thought she was going to be releasing the visuals. Well, when January 14th came, honey, Baby B, at midnight exactly said, this announcement is postponed. Oh, I was pissed the fuck off. But she had good reasons. She had very good reasons. Let me pull up her announcement. She said, the January 14th announcement will be postponed to a later date due to the devastation caused by the ongoing wildfires around the Los Angeles area. I continue to pray for healing and rebuilding for the family suffering from the trauma and loss. We are so blessed to have brave first responders who continue to work tirelessly to protect the Los Angeles community. To join our efforts in supporting those impacted, please visit @begood.com. So, I mean, I get it. You know, now obviously we all are assuming that she was going to be announcing her world tour. I can't talk today, people. Maybe because I'm doing this. JT, where are you? Maybe I'm doing this by myself. I need my co-host with me. But she's going to announce her world tour, and you know she would probably feel bad if she announces world tour asking for money when people don't have homes. That would be the only reason why I think that she will postpone this announcement. And then yesterday, these rumors, I don't know what to believe or what not to believe. Everything on the internet, I always just assume it's fake news, especially when it comes to Beyonce because she's so secretive and so private. Her team really, really does a great job at making sure her information doesn't leak. So yesterday, a rumor came out that one of the Ticketmaster's website accidentally released certain dates of her tour. And the tour was supposed to start in June, and there was like maybe 5 or 6 dates. One of the dates was in LA, that was in September. There was a one in July, that was in America, and then the one in June was the one across overseas in like Europe. It was a European dates. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if those dates were actually legit dates or if someone, made photoshopped and made that shit up. I don't know. You never know what to believe nowadays. But, I guess we have to all wait and find out what Beyonce will reveal. So I'm excited. And whatever it is, my credit card is ready, B. All right, let me know. Wendy Williams. So yesterday, Wendy Williams gave, I want to say, one of her first interviews in maybe 3 to 4 years since the cancellation of her show. She was on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and DJ Envy. That's me and JT created this podcast because of The Breakfast Club. They were our influencers, and I always wanted this podcast to be just like that show. Wendy and Charlamagne used to work together. Wendy actually selected Charlamagne. I don't know how she found him or picked him, but she handpicked him to be on her radio show, and they worked together for like 4 to 5 years. And then, they had some nasty fallout, and then they went their own separate way. But, I think Charlamagne has always been grateful for what Wendy did for him, because if Wendy never selected him, Charlamagne would not be the Charlamagne that we know today, if that makes sense, So Wendy came on The Breakfast Club yesterday, and it was really, really good to hear her voice. She sounded very, very good. I'm sure everyone has heard the interview or heard clips of this interview, but she's saying that she is being held against her will in this guardianship. These people are having her live in this senior living. That's how she described it. She described it as a senior living with people who are older than her, who have Alzheimer's, who have dementia, who can't really hold conversations. And she's not allowed to leave the building at all. She even says she's not even allowed to have a phone in her bedroom. It's not an apartment. It's the bedroom that she has. And, let me backtrack. She does have a phone, but it's not like a regular phone. It can only dial out. You cannot call in. So if you miss Wendy's call, she has to just try again until you pick up. You cannot call her back. I have a clip, so take a listen to the interview from yesterday.
I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in New York City, right? And by the way, my apartment has been sold, thank God, a while ago. But I'm in this place where the people are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s, and even when people are 60 like me, hey, I'm sexy and gorgeous. I am 60. Look, please, July 18th, 1964, honey. But look, these people, I don't care if they're 50 and 60. They have, there's something wrong with these people here on this floor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm not saying something bad. I'm just saying that I am with these people. I am clearly not, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here on the bed. All right? I watch TV, I listen to radio, I look at the window, I talk on the phone. And by the way, Alex, talk about this phone, please. Alex, you've been right here where I am, so you know exactly what you're talking about. You flew from Miami to New York, and you were right here with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what she's saying is exactly what's happened. She's there in New York, in this place, essentially like what some would call a luxury prison, right? This is her room. That's literally her apartment. But the thing about this apartment, and you know this, not Wendy, because you're there, it's small. She has a bed, a chair, a TV, a bathroom, and she's looking out one window. buildings across the street. That's her life.
Excuse me, and excuse me, through my money, you know, I had this person buy the TV, you know, the kind of TV I like, a large TV, you understand what I'm saying? Through this person, because all of my stuff is in storage, you understand what I'm saying? Everything's in storage, and by the way, that was to sell my apartment, but anyway.
Is the person your guardian? Is that who you're referring to, your guardian?
Yes.
Well, you know, Sabrina Morrissey is her name, and right now A&E Network, A&E Network and Lifetime were sued by Sabrina. She claims they exploited you in a vulnerable state. They exploited your condition, and I'm putting condition in air quotes. You signed to do that documentary without your consent, but A&E and Lifetime countersued and said that Sabrina realized the documentary would question the quality of her own guardianship. It actually says in the lawsuit, it appears that Morrissey is misusing her position as a guardian of Williams to silence criticism of her controversial and failed administration of the guardianship. They even used the words guardianship abuse.
Wendy sounds clear as day. You know, a month ago, they were saying that she was not able to take care of herself. It was put out there that she is, you know, has to rely solely on people. And clearly, she's in her right state of mind. Now, you know, if you listen to the whole interview, I'm not going to be in full denial. Like, Wendy sounds perfectly fine. She's healthy. She can be on her own. I don't really think that she could be on her own. And I definitely don't think that she is the Wendy Williams that we saw when she had her talk show. I do think that she might have dementia. Something is going on with her, but she shouldn't be held. She shouldn't be held in this building under some guardian. Her family should be able to take care of her. Wendy should be willing or free to live wherever she wants. Who cares where she lives, if she's on her own or not? She should be willing to do that. I don't know how she got under this guardianship. I don't know how this works. I don't know how the court systems selected this guardian or this guardianship for her. But she had her niece on the Breakfast Club with her. Her niece is Alex. I think Alex either was on her talk show a lot or she was part of that documentary that was on Lifetime. Anyways, Alex wants her home. She wants her home in Miami. You know, all her son, Wendy's sister, Wendy's father. They're not even letting Wendy see her father for his birthday, his 94th birthday next month. You know, they're not even letting her do that. They want her in Miami, and this guardianship is not letting Wendy leave New York City, leave the building that she lives in. Pardon me. During this interview, Wendy revealed that she had, remember those two cats that she used to talk about in her talk show? The Guardian told her that they gave the cats away because she was misbehaving and she gave them to somebody, and Wendy only has $15 in her account. She doesn't have access to any of her money. Wendy is a prisoner. Wendy is a prisoner. I feel so bad for her. And I like I said, I listened to this interview. Wendy is I shouldn't say in her right state of mind, but she's doing better than what we saw on that Lifetime documentary. I can say that. And anyone who listened to the interview probably can agree with me, right? She's like that Lifetime documentary. JT and I talked about that last season. It was terrible. It was terrible. You know, and so when that rumor came out, or when it came out last month that Wendy was totally, you know, depending on people to take care of her, I believed it just because of that documentary that Lifetime aired last year. But Wendy has gotten better. You know, she has progressed. She hasn't regressed. She has progressed. And she sounds like she's healthier. She sounds like she's taking good care of herself. So, you know, and I think that her family would be the right choice to be her guardian if she needs a guardian. You know, why not? Her niece has a great job. She's a news anchor. Her sister, I forgot what her sister did, well accomplished. Her brother is well accomplished. They're good people. You think they're not going to use Wendy for her money. They're not going to abuse Wendy at home, slap her in the face, you know, a couple times. That's what you guys are probably doing. Who knows? That's why its families don't really trust outside help, because outside help doesn't really treat you as good as family will treat you. Wendy had that interview because she said if she never spoke out, nobody will ever know what's happening to her. Nobody will ever know what's going on with her, that she's in this prison, pretty much. And I'll say this, if we could hashtag free Britney. And if we can get her out of her guardianship, we can do the same thing for Wendy. So there's a hashtag called Free Wendy that's trending. And we, the people, Wendy watchers, need to really partake in this hashtag and riot for Wendy's freedom. So, Wendy, I think that this will actually benefit you. I think I can see you actually getting out of that guardianship by the end of the year. So I definitely will be keeping you up to date with what's going on with Wendy Williams. I've been to her show so many times. I've met her. I talked to her. She's really, really is a nice person. And since her talk show, I've always felt connected to her. So, Wendy, I got you. I'm going to do whatever I can possibly do to help you get out of that guardianship. So, free Wendy, right, people? Free Wendy. All right, you guys, I caved. I caved. I watched The Traitors. I know. I told you guys I wasn't going to watch until the season's over. I was bored last week. I don't really have any friends. So, I was in the house and I was like, fuck, there's nothing to watch. The book that I was reading last week wasn't really keeping my attention. So I watched The Traitors. Now, if you have not watched The Traitors, skip over. I don't want to say exit the rest of the episode, but just skip over, a couple of minutes, I am going to say some spoilers. Dorinda and Ayan was murdered. They were murdered in the first 3 episodes. Now, I'm not really angry about them being murdered. I don't really know anyone else on the show. Now, I only know the Housewives. Dorinda, Ayan, Dolores, and Robin. Robin from Potomac, Dolores from Jersey, Ayan from Dubai, Dorinda from Jersey. Dorinda from New York. And so I don't know anyone else on the show. I don't watch Survivor. I don't watch Big Brother or The Challenge or RuPaul's Drag Race. I never really got into those shows. Never seen that one season. So I'm not angry about the Housewives getting booted, because I know them already. I want to see new people. I like getting to know new people. So I want to see people that I don't know. I know people are like, what are you saying, Marcus? Your platform is a Housewives. Yes. And I'm sick of it. I want to get to know new people. All right. I already know Dorinda and Ayan, even though I kind of wish that maybe that guy rid of Dolores and Robin instead. Because Dorinda and Ayan are really hotheads, and I think that's why the fans are so angry that they were the first ones to get murdered, because we didn't really see them in the Housewives action. Dorinda and Ayan will eat your ass up real quick, especially Dorinda. Dorinda is in a mob. I swear, she is in a mob. That woman is a mobster, all right? And so, yeah, I think that's the reason why we're upset about it. I don't think that people would be really angry if a Robin or Dolores got axed first, because, I love you, Dolores. But, you could be boring. And, Robin got fired for being boring. So, there's no surprise there. But I actually, like I said, I'm not mad about them getting fired. Or not, I'm sorry. It's really funny that all of them are fired from their franchises. I'm saying Dolores is fired too, because we don't know what's going on with Jersey. So I'm just saying she's fired. But yeah, I'm not really mad about it. I want to get to know these. I want to actually see the gamers play the game. These Housewives, yeah, they're good for TV, but they're not really game people. And yeah, Phaedra gave a heck of a performance last season. But let's go to the first season. The Bravo celebrities were fired first too. Brandy, she was axed in the first couple episodes. Tamra Judge was fired in the first couple episodes. And what's that gay guy from Shah's of Sunset? Reza. Reza was the first one murdered. So, and I liked the first season because I didn't know any of the people on the first season. After all, Tamra, Reza, and Brandy, when they got rid of the first season, I was like, okay, I got to know new people. So I'm thinking that this will happen again for me with the third season, getting to know new people. I know Wes I know he's from The Challenge, but I only know that because he was on the last season of House of Villains. And that's the only person I know currently on the show besides Robin and Dolores. And so, yeah, I caved. I did watch last night's episode 2. I caved again. I'm not going to say what happened last night. I don't want to ruin anyone's, I don't want to ruin it. I already ruined gave you guys spoilers for the first 3 episodes that I caved. But yeah, I don't know if this season will be as good as last season. The characters, the people aren't really keeping my attention, not really interesting to me so far. But you never know. The more you watch, the more you get connected with people and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't want to speak about that because I know that a lot of Housewives fans were angry about Dorinda and Ian getting axed first. It was another guy axed as well, but I don't remember his name, and he didn't really matter. But it was 3 people axed, and those were the 3. So for all you TikTokers, you guys have until Monday to use the app. Monday was Sunday. I'm sorry, the 19th, which is Sunday. January 19th will be the last time TikTok will be accessible in the United States. So, we all know that China runs TikTok, and I don't know if it was the president or if it was Congress, but they don't trust China being in control of TikTok. And so for the past year, they've been trying to find an American buyer for TikTok. But I don't know if the owner wants to sell TikTok or if they just can't find an American buyer to purchase the application. I never got into TikTok. I don't know how to tick or talk. I tried videos years ago, like 2020, back in COVID, but it was always a little a harder app to use. I know that's weird to say. I'm 34. Saying an app is hard to use, but I did find TikTok really challenging. So I never was on TikTok. I'm more of an Instagram and Twitter person. Those are my 2 apps that I use. So I don't care if TikTok stays or goes, because I can't tell you the last time I was on TikTok. So, but I know that a lot of people are upset about the application, and so it sucks. I can only imagine America getting rid of Instagram. Can you imagine? That's my platform. Oh my God, where would I go? And where would these TikTokers go? All the people who actually have a platform on TikTok, where will they go? You better come over to Instagram and Twitter. It sucks when you have a big following. Like, I have a huge following on Instagram. I don't have a huge following on Twitter. Or what's the other one? The one on the other Instagram, Threads, whatever it's called. I don't have a huge following on any of them, So I mean, I guess I would have to, start, a following on those other pages. But when you have, I don't have 1 million, but when these TikTokers, they do have 1 million followers, and so when you have 1 million followers and your platform is taken away from you, you are getting paid. Where do you go? I do feel bad for them. I feel bad. It is easy to, get a following, especially if you're good at what you do. So I can only imagine how they feel, and I feel bad for everyone who is losing their followers and their platform. So you have 3 more days on the app. So you better say your goodbyes. And well, that's today's show. That's all I have for you guys. I thought I'll be done in 30 minutes, but I guess I took an hour. I hope that I kept your attention. I hope I wasn't talking too fast, or I wasn't a drag, or a bore. I try to be entertaining for you guys. So yeah. So I guess I'll talk to you next Friday. I want everyone to have a safe week, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. All right. So I'll talk to you next Friday. All right. Bye, guys.